Eli, do you want to know how I found out this was all happening?
I'm gonna guess you were at work.
No, Fridays are my day off. Fridays are
Okay.
my day off,
Okay.
so it's my day to where I can do anything I want to do. Right?
I'm gonna guess. And I'm gonna go for out of left field here. I'm gonna say you were enjoying a nice spa day, or maybe getting your nails done, and
That's crazy. You were almost right there. I was driving to a massage.
that was my next guess. I'm not gonna lie, that was my next guess. That's okay. Okay, that's a little of a bummer.
I'm driving to my massage, and I just keep getting ping, ping, ping. I'm like, what is going on? I look down as I'm driving. I'm at a red light because we don't text while we drive.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I see like a 12, and I'm like, who has sent me 12 messages? And I just click on our lovely, lovely daily lineup group chat, and all I see is LeBron to Philly. Somebody needs to hop on. And I said, Philly? What?
Yeah.
Philly?
Autumn, are you happy that it's over though? Because I just want to check as your friend. You had mentioned that you're sick of doing the song and dance and you can't do it anymore. And here's the good news: you don't have to do it anymore. It's official. It's over. We.
It's not over. It's never over with him. Okay? Let me okay. Let me start the show the way I want it to start it. Okay.
Yes, please do.
LeBron James has been going through this. You know what? I was actually thinking about this. LeBron is like him and Cleveland are like divorced parents, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. They fell in love when they were super young, right? Cavs still a young franchise. LeBron put us on the map for real as a real basketball town, right?
Right.
After about 7 years, he said, "You know what? I don't think this is working. I don't think this is a mutual." Even though they kept trying, they got real close. It's like when like two people have like fertility issues. It's like, okay, we're about to have a baby, but like you don't have the baby, right?
Right.
You keep getting close, and you keep the signs are there. You keep getting real close. But he said, "You know what?
Mm.
We need to take a break." So you break up, you separate, right? You
Okay.
get a divorce,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You go down the path of dating a bunch of shitty guys. You find one that you're like, you know what? He may be the future. He may be it. He's so close. He's so close. And then your ex comes back, and you're like, you know what? Why don't you both come together and let's just try this out again, right?
Okay.
Try this
Right.
out again.
Yeah.
And then you have the baby. You finally have the baby,
Yeah.
your coveted baby,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't work again. But you're not sad about it because you're like, we had the baby. This baby was made with love. And they go away. And then they start sniffing around again. It's like, oh, you're flirting with me again? Like, we have this baby together. We have to see each other because we have this child together. But we flirt with each other, Like, you stay at my house to take care of the baby. And then you open your phone and you're like, what do you mean he got engaged to somebody else?
Yeah.
That's how I felt today.
That's understandable.
It's like you've been doing this song and dance for 20 years. For
Yeah.
20 years, he's been doing this song and dance. I'm not even joking. He literally restructured his contract in 2006.
Right. Right.
For 20 years, he has been doing this song and dance of like, oh, maybe, I'll come back. Maybe I won't go away. Maybe I'll come back again. And then he came back the one time and was like, oh my God, yes, he loves us again. And it's just like, I know in my heart that it will never be over. It will never be over, because to go to Philly, this is a place that booed Santa Claus.
Oh yeah.
They booed Santa Claus.
Yeah.
They threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Yeah. It's pretty messed up.
Every year, when their teams do well, they have to grease the light poles so they don't climb them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. As far as the fan base, they're definitely not like the most welcoming. That's not what LeBron's going to experience there. I don't have a necessary problem with it in terms of like. So let me be very careful with what I'm about to say. I don't have a problem with him going to Philadelphia if it is about winning a championship. If it's about winning a championship, they are the best roster constructed right now. And he doesn't even have to be the number 1 or number 2 option on that team right now.
No, we can't do this.
They are, Autumn.
We can't do this.
Who are you going to say is better than the Philadelphia 76ers roster right now?
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I have to say the New York Knicks.
But out of the teams that he was choosing, Philadelphia had the best roster.
Honestly, if he wanted to really, really like cement himself, it would have been the Cavs or it would have been Miami. Miami or the Cavs, to me, were his 2 best options. Joel Embiid's knees are on their last legs. Jaylen Brown, at one point, everybody was questioning, can you dribble? And was talking shit about his own son. Everybody else is like, what? Like this is a franchise that chose Tobias Harris over prime Jimmy Butler. This is a franchise that, out of their whole history, has constantly let people go, and they have also had like immaculate careers. But like, I just don't understand it. This makes no sense to me. And this is what I was talking about later on the show. I'm gonna ask the question: did the Knicks break the NBA? Because nothing that's happening makes sense.
But I disagree with you a little bit here. Like, respectfully, but I disagree with you a little bit here. Because LeBron put in his tweet that it was about championships. And we all called a bluff when it was a bluff. Because we've done this song and dance, like you said, 3 different times.
20 years, this has been happening.
Exactly. But we're talking about happiness, and whatever. And, he wants to make his family happy and this and that. But it was about winning a championship.
Really? What person did you want someone to...
But it was never about his family, though, Autumn. But I think you're missing the point. Real quick, let me just say this. I think you're missing the point. It was never about that. That was just, and Rich Paul even came out and said, and I'm not defending LeBron because I've already tore into him for the last hour. But what I'm saying is, Rich Paul mentioned on his podcast that it was never about family. And LeBron even mentioned in his tweet, it was always about championship and winning. And if we're just looking at it from that, do I agree with the way he went about it? No. I even said last hour, I was sick of the same thing and the documentary tease and this and that. But if we're looking at out of the teams, if you lay them up on a list, you put Philadelphia, you put Golden State, you put Cleveland, you put Miami, and maybe throw Minnesota in there. There is not a better roster right now in the NBA out of those teams than Philadelphia. And I understand your point to where, okay, who wants to go to Philly? Autumn, they're also under a completely different front office. And I'm not a 76ers fan, so let's not confuse it. But Mike Gansey, who spent a lot of time here in Cleveland, has a connection with LeBron, is running the ship there. He's already landed Jaylen Brown. Now he's landed LeBron James. Dean Wade, former Cav, is there. Anthony Simons, who used to start for Portland, there. He is making a case for Executive of the Year already. So I guess it's like, what doesn't make sense? Is it just because it's Philadelphia, the location? Because I can understand if that's what it was, but it was never about that. He said it himself. It was about winning a championship, and he is ring chasing. That's just what it is.
You know how a couple weeks ago I said LeBron is the sincere of the NBA? I stand by that. Every single year he proves that he is a liar. Because just last week he literally said, yeah, I want to do this for my daughter. You think your daughter wants to go from living in California and LA to some of the best schools because she has a chance to probably be one of the best volleyball players out there because you are her dad, to Philadelphia?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, though, again, I reiterate,
he's a liar.
Sure, I'm not disagreeing with you that the antics, like I think we're on the same page there. The antics are tiring, and all the lead up to this, and the oops, gotcha. Oh, you may have been here. Oh, maybe Miami. Oh, like it's just tiring. But the one thing I won't ever discredit in these current moments of where we're still processing the first 24 hours of this is if it was strictly about winning championships, out of the teams left, Philadelphia is the best option. And that's even if Joel Embiid's not healthy. They have Tyrese Maxey, who scored 28 points per game last year, is going to make another leap. Jaylen Brown's one of the best players in the NBA. They're going to have Jaylen Brown there. LeBron is going to be in a position where he can pass, facilitate, if this works out well, because it could blow up in their face. I'm not doubting that, but I'm also saying if it works well, it's going to be LeBron facilitating. It's going to be an opportunity where Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey are your 1A, 1B. That's how this works the best. You're going to run pick and roll with Embiid if he's healthy. That's this roster, but obviously, he looked at Cleveland. He looked at a few different things. James Harden, and Donovan Mitchell. Is that enough to win a championship? Is that going to work for him? Is the spacing going to work? Why haven't they brought up Brandon Weems from assistant GM to GM? Obviously, we're not going to agree with all of it because, okay, we're not going to bow down to LeBron for all of this. But there were some things he clearly wanted. I don't think it was just roster construction. It was, why haven't you elevated Brandon Weems, who's been with the organization, to the GM position? Why did you let Mike Ganzi walk out of the organization? These are questions we do have to look at Cavs fans because I know it hurts. We're Cavs fans.
It doesn't hurt anymore at this point. I've dealt with this 3 fucking times. I'm sorry for guessing. I've dealt with this so many times. It doesn't even hurt. To me, it just is in my mind. I'm just thinking. I'm just in my mind. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, we were literally talking about Jaylen Brown and how he couldn't dribble. Jaylen Brown could not dribble. Joel Embiid last year, I don't even know how he was on the court during the semifinals. I don't even understand how he got there. And I understand they have a young team, they have a young core, but I'm going to just say this. I'm just sick of it. And if you think the antics will never end with him, it is always going to be antics with him, okay? You're now in Philly. Look, if he thought Miami, LA, Cleveland were pressure cookers, again, like I said, Philly booed Santa Claus. They threw...
Yeah, but they're also dying for a championship right now. But
snowballs at Santa Claus.
I get it, but there's a few things here, Autumn. Like, one, LeBron may not even live in Philadelphia. Like, there's reports coming out per ESPN's Shams Charania earlier today and other reporters that LeBron may live in New York City. It's not that far from Philadelphia. He could catch a quick flight.
Then why not go to the Knicks at that point?
Because they don't. Because to him, they're not the best roster. They're still in the midst of trying to figure out how to pay everybody. James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, has come out and said he's not going into the second apron. He refuses to. He'll try to bring up as much as they can. That's why they've already lost Mitchell Robinson. So I don't think right now, I'll agree with you, friend. I'll agree with you. The Knicks are the best roster in the Eastern Conference right now in terms of they are the defending NBA champions. But to say that Philadelphia, like, on court, this makes all the sense in the world.
I'm not shitting on Philadelphia. They literally got to the Eastern Conference semifinals last year.
Right.
I'm not shitting on them. It just, to me, makes no sense whatsoever. Like, none whatsoever.
But what does it make the sense?
Especially to end your career. Look, again, LeBron has been doing the song and dance for over 20 years now. He is all about a narrative. He is all about a story. It makes no sense. It actually, to me, made more sense if he would have went to Miami. Because that narrative of it's unfinished business. Same reason why he came back to Cleveland. Sure. Unfinished business. This is a man obsessed with his image. He literally came back to Cleveland because he didn't like that he was the villain. So this narrative, I don't get it. I don't get it. But hold on, before we go to break, Nate, I thought you were on my side, man. No, I thought you were on my side. I thought you were gonna root for me, but I see how it is. When we come back, we're going to talk about how the hell the Knicks broke the NBA. This LeBron thing wasn't even the worst thing to happen. The NBA is in shambles. We're going to talk about it when we come back. Let's go to break. Let's just go to break.
Key On Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Key On Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Key On Sports is your one-stop for all of it. Visit them today at keyonsports.com or on YouTube at Key On Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, W Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order W Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. W Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to SportsMemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. SportsMemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
We cannot wait for Moon Bash this Saturday here on the Inside Edge Network. Eli is going to shut it down. Over 50 music artists in town at the Brothers Lounge, West 117th in Detroit, on the west side of Cleveland, that Cleveland-Lakewood border. 12 p.m. the doors open, and it goes all the way to 12 a.m. when Eli performs. But Eli is giving us an opportunity to broadcast live from Moon Bash.
Yeah, it's incredible, Double A, and I'm so grateful that all of our favorite people across the Inside Edge Network are going to be there. It's going to be incredible. You know, you'll be there, Papa Moon will be there, Kyle Cornell, Chad Bryan. Of course, we have the owner, Peter Tellep, in the building as well. Come say hi to everybody. The Inside Edge Network will be positioned in the front stage near the back of the building, the back of the stage here. Come say hello. You know, if you see somebody up front, you're rocking out with the artist, you know, stop by after and come say hi to the Inside Edge Network. We'll have all the guys and girls ready to rock with you. And cannot wait, man. 52 artists, 4 different stages, Inside Edge Network broadcasting, interviewing the artist, all about community. That's what we're about here on the Inside Edge Network. That's what I'm about with LaHale, my music collective, and the music community. It'll be on full display Saturday from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Don't be late.
Should be a fun time. We cannot wait to see you there at Moon Bash this Saturday. If you can't make it, that's okay. Watch us beginning at 1 p.m. right here on the Inside Edge Network. All day coverage, 1 to 8 will be on. So we cannot wait. We will see you this Saturday right here on the Inside Edge Network.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, I understand. I too. As an 8-year-old, I literally saw him for the first time in the cinema. He's my favorite person. Also, you clearly didn't watch the last show because I said my DMs are open if you want to make it happen. But did the Knicks break the NBA?
It's an interesting discussion, right? It's definitely a question to have because This is the first championship they've had in 50 years. You know, this is something they have been waiting for a long time. And I don't know if they, it's a great question because the run they went on, let's just start there. The run they went on was pretty impressive, right? I think that's got a lot of teams morphed a little bit with their reality. You know, Kyle Cornell is mentioning here, and other talent is mentioned across the network that, hey, maybe the Knicks just were the hot team at, you know, at the right time, and they got hot. And they may not be able to replicate that. I think teams are falling in love with just replicating the hot moment. Like, how can you get hot at the right time? Whether it's bringing in, for the Philadelphia 76ers, we just talked about them, bringing in Jaylen Brown and LeBron James, two guys with postseason experience that can maybe lead younger guys like Maxey and Edgecombe and those types of things. Yeah, it feels a little odd. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, we've had crazy superstar trades. LaMelo Ball's been on the move. You know, you have, of course, LeBron signing in Philadelphia, Giannis in Miami. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Ja Morant in Portland now. You know, I do think that, on a side note, Ja Morant's going to have a better year than a lot of people are thinking because of the guidance of Dame Lillard. But that's another discussion for another day. Yeah, I guess to answer your question, Autumn, I think it's got people thinking and teams thinking differently about what the NBA should look like in terms of, should we build for an 82-game season or should we build for just strong enough to get into the playoffs, a decent seed, and get hot?
Maybe, but I think they broke the NBA because there's people who are on teams that you're like, why is this a team?
Yeah.
Like, again, LeBron, how did he get to the 76ers? I'm so confused with that. Jaylen Brown got traded for a bag of nickels.
Oh, no Jaylen Brown slander here. I'm not.
Well, that is all on the Boston Celtics. How do you trade a guy who was your Finals MVP,
right,
with Paul George and 5 picks?
Right. No, right.
Get back no one on the same talent level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like you have that trade, you have the LaMelo Ball trade, you have the Ja Morant trade,
mm-hmm.
you have the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, which again, like, there's so much stuff happening constantly that I keep forgetting other people. You have people signing with teams where you're like, how the hell did you sign with that team? You got people re-signing. Why Trae Young? Why would you re-sign? Why would you re-sign with the Wizards? The Wizards!
So the big thing with Trae Young, just like on that for a moment, reports were coming out, from Brian Windhorst. And I heard this through the Part of My Take podcast when I was listening. Because I'll be real, that's the only podcast I listen to outside of the network. And I've been listening to them since they started. I don't really rock with a ton of the Barstool stuff, but I like those guys. I've always jammed with Big Cat and PFT. They are decent to listen to, and you know what? They make me laugh from time to time. Sometimes they get a little bit where I'm like, all right, I'm going to skip 10 minutes ahead. But a lot of times they're good stuff. Brian Windhorst mentioned that Trae Young with the Wizards, when they acquired him, Autumn, they basically told him, we're going to sit you the rest of the year. Like, we will extend you. We will give you this money, but you have to sit the rest of the year. You're going to screw our chances up of getting the number 1 pick if you play. They're not going to get it. Now, they got the number 1 pick. They got AJ DeBance out of BYU there now as well. And Trae Young opted out of his player option, takes the big deal. And the other thing Windhorst mentioned, though, that I think is interesting, is nobody was bidding around anywhere near what the Wizards paid him. Nobody's going to give Trae Young a max contract or anywhere close. So I think that's the more confusing thing is, like, are the Wizards strapping themselves again? Because you look at John Wall and the Bradley Beal situation, Autumn, and that was the thing where that backcourt was good. They were, second round good. They got out into the second round, but they were never, achieving more than that. Trae Young's only been to the Eastern Conference Finals once, and now you have a lot of money invested into Trae Young, Anthony Davis. You're going to have to, he's on his rookie deal. He hasn't played a game yet, but eventually you're going to have to pay AJ DeBanza. What exactly is their plan? I think they'll be fun this year in terms of immediate. This season, I think the Wizards could be a team that maybe is the best team in the play-in, maybe sneaks into that 6th seed, maybe, and could be a little bit of a problem child. But I don't think they're anything more than a nuisance. Just a lot going on, a lot. But we missed some of these other things, too, some of these other trades. Julius Randle, we want to talk about trade for a bag of chips. Julius Randle being traded for...
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Oklahoma City, Autumn. Look at Oklahoma City. While everybody's doing all these big trades, Oklahoma City's still racking up all these second-rounders and everything for the future. They've traded Isaiah Joe, and they traded Lou Dort. They moved off of both. I think the Lou Dort thing, you want to talk about Lou Dort. I know he's a menace, and he does some things that he gets other people frustrated by the way he plays such physical defense. but he's somebody that is such a great two-way player for the Oklahoma City Thunder, one of the better role players on that team for a 3-and-D guy, and I was shocked by that. So I don't know, Autumn. I mean, did the Knicks break the NBA? Was this what they were asking around the world when the Cavs won in 2016?
No.
But think about it. But think about it just for a moment, because all of those big signings happened right after the Cavs won the championship.
No, that's true. But the Knicks but the Cavs didn't break the NBA in a way like the Knicks have. The Knicks, like I said, people are signing places that have never been signed before.
Fair.
People are trading players that should have never been traded before. People are opting out of contracts to make room. It's just like, when I say they broke the NBA, as in I'm saying that a lot of people probably looked at that Knicks roster, looked at how it was built, looked at what they did and said, you know what, if they can win a championship, so can I. So a lot of people, now you're going to see a lot of people start building their roster how the Knicks are built, right? And thinking like, okay, since we built our roster like that, let's get hot, because that's what happens. That's what happens in the league, right?
Right.
Remember, the big three in Boston, that influences the big three in Miami, which influences Cleveland, which influences Golden State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, every action has a reaction. Hell, Shaq going from Orlando to LA, that was a big reaction.
Right.
You had people, like, there was a whole thing of you never leave your team, and he left his team. So when I say the Knicks broke the NBA, as in, like, this happens every time somebody wins a championship, right? Every single time.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now by that logic, though, if teams are building, and just play devil's advocate, if teams are building their rosters like the New York Knicks, then looking out west, I would say the Portland Trailblazers might be a team. And I will say this, actually, like, all joking aside, Portland's going to be a problem this year. Portland's going to be a problem. I'm letting you know.
Their owner wants to spend money and not do what he's doing. Yeah, they may be, but if he continues to act the way he's acting and cutting that budget the way he's cutting it,
well, the owner's terrible. Tom Dunnan's terrible, and hopefully they can get him out. But right now, looking at that roster, and you mentioned, that's why it came to my head there, because you mentioned building the roster kind of sort of like that. Think about Portland. They have Dame Lillard there, okay, a trusted franchise point guard, okay, that not the same game, but Jalen Brunson, Dame Lillard, okay, I can see that. You have Ja Morant. He's a guy who can run in that backcourt, and that's something I guess you could argue maybe they didn't have in New York this year in terms of like a true running mate. You had a mixture of Anunoby and Bridges on the wing, but you didn't have them next to Jalen Brunson. But then you look at the bigs. Donovan Clingan for Portland. You have some other bigs in there as well. I believe Robert Williams, if I'm not mistaken, went there, and we'll double check that. But then you have Denny Avdija, who's one of my favorite players in the Western Conference right now. So I can understand what you're thinking, and maybe teams are looking at that, because Portland is kind of sort of similar to what New York did. They're building around the wings, they're building around, backcourt, and they're making sure they have a strong, a center. It's interesting. It's definitely an interesting discussion. I don't know what to think anymore. Here's the good news: all these teams are changing. Well, it's not good news, but all the teams are changing. Cavaliers haven't done shit, so here we are. So you don't have to learn any new players or anything. In fact, you have to forget players. Dean Wade, Keon Ellis, no longer here.
Honestly, I'm not even going to criticize the Cavs. At this point, they're a Cleveland sports team. They're a Cleveland sports team. Like, what is criticizing them going to do for me? Nothing, because they're going to still be the way that they are. It's not going to do anything for me. It's not going to bring anyone that I want here. It's just, nothing is going to happen for me criticizing the Cavs. Okay. That's why I don't really criticize them, because number one, I've also worked for the franchise, so I know just how much. I will say this: out of all three teams, I know Dan Gilbert actually truly does care about the people who work for him and the things he does, and he does actually genuinely care about the players. They all look. I will say this: one of my favorite anecdotes. When I was working there, it was towards the end of LeBron's second tenure. And the security guards would talk to me. I would talk to them because they would be around the players more. Because we wouldn't really see the players unless we were in the tunnels.
Right.
But I'll never forget one of the security guards was like, "Yeah, Kyle Korver came in here to buy everybody some gifts for Christmas." Oh. And he got up to the register, gave his name, and he thought he got a huge discount. All the employees would get a 25% discount, right?
Oh, and they're under the employee discount.
He got the 25% off. And then he looked and he told somebody, he was like, yeah, I mean, Dan only gets 46. And I'm like, that should show you, like, the players can't just come in and get like 100% off, 50%. They get 25% off just like the rest of us. Like, their families would come in. Like, when I say he makes it a family environment, he makes it a family environment. Why do you think LeBron was able to get away with so much stuff the first time he was here? He wanted to make it as comfortable as possible.
Right.
But in terms of the Cavs, I'm going to just say this. They just need to put their money where the mouth is at this point. It's not really about – it's really you got to show up. You got to show up. You just got to show up.
But with what, though? They're losing depth pieces. They haven't added anybody. So, if anything, they're worse off than they were 2 months ago.
No, but at this point, look, Eli,
Yeah.
I've been in the trenches with this team.
I'm right there with you.
I've been in the Chetty Osman, Colin Sexton, Christian Iyenga.
Oh, yeah. J.J. Hickson, I'm right there with you in the trenches.
J.J. Hickson, Antoine Jameson.
Look, we've probably been handing each other, like, rations and whatnot throughout these trenches. You know, we're in these trenches. Like, I get it. I'm right there with you. But, Autumn, and I understand your respect.
Livingston,
Yes.
the Moon, I've been in the trenches with them. So that's why I don't get mad at them, because I'm like, I know how bad it can get. I know how bad it can get. I really do know how bad it gets for them.
So I just want to make sure. So you're not to interrupt you, my apologies, but you're okay with this then? You're okay with second round exits and getting your ass whooped in the Eastern Conference Finals? You're cool with that?
Okay.
So what is the exact point of playing the basketball games then if they're not to win a championship and you didn't get the hometown hero? And so what exactly are the Cavs playing for this year? Could you tell me that?
Look, everybody plays for the championship, no matter what. Like, that's why I'm like, when I say I've been there in the trenches, Eli, we literally, when I was working for the franchise, we went from making $3,000 to barely 500.
Oh yeah, I get it.
They were giving away tickets, so I'm like, that's why I'm like if y'all are freaking out over this, like, y'all could not have been there in 2018 when this team was in shambles.
But I think that's the thing is, like, I think people. So there's two factors that go into that. One, I get your point. I don't want to discredit it because I completely hear your point. There's a lot of people in Cleveland and maybe even the Cavs front office thinking that, hey, we don't want to go back to 2018 bad. We don't want to go to 2011 bad. You know, those types of vibes. I get it. I remember watching the Andrew Bynum and Kyrie Irving type of teams, and I remember these types of teams. Young Tristan Thompson. Like, I get it, Autumn, and maybe they're. Yes, and maybe their fear. They had Tyler Zeller, I think, at one point. I think they had both Zeller. No, I think, yeah, whatever. Zellers, regardless. Anyways, they had this thing where, and maybe the front office is still in this mindset where they don't want to go back to being that bad. I get that. That probably is a thought. It is for some fans. Obviously, you're sharing that. I get that, and that's valid to a degree. But Autumn, that's more so in year 2 or 3 of Donovan Mitchell. We've now inked him to a second contract, and the whole goal when you go and trade all these firsts and you move off of a guy in Lauri Markkanen who added value to the team, you move off of these pieces, you're going to win a championship. When you go out and trade Darius Garland, and obviously the health concerns are there, you're going to win an NBA championship. That's your plan. That is your mentality. It's not just get to the second round and we're happy, everybody's high-fiving, everybody gets a raise, and we're moving on. Yes, of course we're happy with playoffs. I think anybody in Cleveland that says, I'm just not happy with the Cavaliers, totally, is a little naive because they have, to your point, had success. They've got to the second round multiple times the last couple of years. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I don't think it's unfair for Cavaliers fans to ask for more because we have tasted 2016. We are in the post-LeBron era officially. He didn't sign here. They're trying to make a somewhat of a history in the 2000s without LeBron James, trying to develop a championship pedigree. So I just get frustrated, and not with you, but I get frustrated with this thinking, this philosophy that, well, we don't want to go back to being so bad, so we can't make any drastic moves. But making a drastic move is what got you here to this point. So maybe making a few more risky moves. You know, RG3 bombed here in Cleveland. Terrible. It was not good. But you know what he was good at? Giving a really good quote in his opening presser. He said, no pressure, no diamonds. And that's what this front office has got to think about, all jokes aside. How do you get better? Well, the best free agents out there right now are Jonathan Kuminga, which I do like in terms of the Evan Mobley time track. That's cool. It's not a championship winning move. Mario Hezonja, we joked about that on Inside Edge Primetime, but there's real interest there with the Cavaliers. How do you make this roster better? Because, Autumn, I hear you. I'm not going to get mad if we go to the playoffs again. I'll be happy and I'll watch. But if it's the same song and dance, we were just talking about with LeBron James, we knew he was going to do the song and dance. If I know the Cavaliers are going to do another second-round exit song and dance, why would I keep putting money in the jukebox?
Look, I understand. I fully understand. I think I'm also traumatized by LeBron. I think that's the other thing about him. I'm
I
fully
get you.
traumatized by him. Like, I don't think people realize, like, LeBron, super traumatizing for him to be here, because I will say this with all my heart. I love him. He is a terrible GM. He does not know how to construct a roster at all. Okay. And that is actually one of the things that I'm grateful in the back of my mind, because I'm like, oh my God, thank you. We would not have had to have Draymond Green or Anthony Davis on this team, and would have had to give up young players so these two could be on the team. That's what I'm like in the back of my mind. I'm like, as I'm like a little peeved by him, I am just thinking about all the roster moves he's ever made.
Yeah.
And that last year and a half that he was here, how he had no choice but to get younger, because he brought in an old ass team, right? And they had no choice, because you weren't going anywhere with that old ass team, right?
Correct.
But I'm just so grateful. Like, I love him, but he is a terrible general manager. Also, once again, shout out to all those who are watching. Nate, buddy, you clearly haven't been watching when I said the DMs are open. All right.
Nate missed a boat. We're on to the next contestant. Yeah, next contestant. I mean, and the other thing too that doesn't get talked about a lot is the fact that he ran Kyrie Irving out of town, and nobody wants to talk about it in this city apparently. But he ran that guy out of town. Yes, he did.
No.
Yes, he did.
I will not let you blame Kyrie Irving and his foolishness on LeBron. Now, that one thing.
Autumn, they were actively shopping. There were reports out there that they were actively shopping Paul George trades for Kyrie Irving. Kyrie caught wind of it and said, you know what, since you're shopping me already and you didn't give me any heads up that you're going to shop me, I want out.
I fully understand. At that time, Kyrie
was what?
I have my issues with Kyrie. I have my legit issues with him. Like, he was a legit nightmare. Like, here in Cleveland, like, I know people that were affected by his.
Okay, I got you.
He was a legit nightmare here. So it wasn't just a basketball decision. He literally like Eli, when I'm telling you, that man was like, I'm glad they moved on from him. And why would I want somebody who literally, as he left, said, "Yeah, I get to play in a real basketball town."
Yeah, because he was shopped by his current team that he was drafted by, won an NBA championship with, was told, hey, the future's in Kyrie's hands after LeBron, we're going to walk for the next 4 or 5 years, and then behind your back, you're getting shopped out for a guy that isn't better than you and Paul George, and then they don't tell. There was no heads up either. Like, hey, Kyrie, we're going to shop you. We're going to try to get better and see what we can do. Just if you hear your name in rumors, just know we've already let you know ahead of time. There was none of that. So I get it, and I get the off-the-court antics. We're talking about one of the best basketball players in the Cleveland Cavaliers uniform. There's no discussion. There's no argument that you can make that I will hear and agree with. He is one of the best Cavaliers ever. And the fact we ran him out of town, we were left holding the bag, because then what does LeBron do? He does what he's done multiple times. Leaves the situation worse off than what it was. Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, a bunch of dejected veterans. No Kyrie Irving because you traded him. You had to move off him because you were whispering too loud. And you should have just kept it either quiet, or you should have told them. I'm still not over the Kyrie Irving. This franchise would have been in a way better spot.
I'm great with it, because you want to know why?
Why?
Kyrie and his ACLs can go somewhere. Okay, Kyrie and his ACLs can go somewhere. He's tried to win in 3 other franchises, hasn't worked out.
But he got to a finals. He got to a finals in Dallas.
Finals.
Correct. Well, Autumn, it's pretty. So the reason we talk about GOATs though is because they're different. I'm not saying Kyrie's the greatest of all time.
No. Since you opened this can of worms, let's talk about Kyrie's career, because you just opened a can of worms. Let's talk about it, because I have facts about Kyrie's career and why I think it's not that LeBron ran him out. Kyrie was. I have my thoughts on Kyrie.
Okay. Okay. I have facts too, so I can't wait. I got mine right here.
We'll talk about it.
Phonetics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick.
With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh.
I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. Moser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Moser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MoserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MoserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Eli Moon here of Inside Edge Primetime. Everybody's busy getting ready, of course, for Moon Bash, but we have shows tonight here for you. Tonight on Inside Edge Primetime. Did something happen? Did LeBron signed with the Philadelphia 76ers. We have so much to cover. Chad and I will get into that. Basically the aftermath, right? The aftermath from Philadelphia, what that means for the Sixers, what it means for the Cavs. We'll talk about that and so much more. Of course, on the Daily Spiral with Autumn Chisholm, she'll talk about a wide variety of things. We'll talk about, some entertainment and reality shows and kind of just all of that entertainment, pop culture you're looking for. But also, she's going to react to LeBron, and then, you guessed it, at midnight. Midnight Run. Double A Anthony Alford will react. LeBron James, a 76er. Stay tuned here on the Inside Edge Network, and we'll see you this weekend at Moon Bash. I thought I caught it. I swear I thought I caught it. I swear I thought I caught it. I swear. I literally went through the process and edited it, loaded it in. It played right the first time during Unfiltered, and then whatever that version is was not the right version.
You just stopped. It just went.
I did. Look, Autumn, I'm going to be real with you. I know we got some stuff to get into, and I don't want to be too long with this, but I've been putting Moon Bash together 50 artists and DJs like combined. My brain's ready to rock tomorrow, but I'm also like dealing with everything to get this up and rolling. I think that you just saw in those final few seconds of that promo where my brain was like, and on Monday you sleep. On Monday you sleep till the evening. Oh my goodness. This is your show. What am I talking so much for? Go ahead. This is your show.
First of all, I have a booger in my nose right now. That's why I keep going inside.
All right, why don't we do this? Why don't I'm gonna go ahead and just promote the network. I'm gonna get you fixed for a second. You go do that. And while Autumn's taking care of that, why don't you go ahead and make sure you like, subscribe, follow it in the @InsideEdgeNet on all the socials. If you haven't been here before, hello. If you haven't, or if you have, welcome back. Subscribe, Inside Edge Net, follow, like, all that. YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Check out the website as well, InsideEdgeNetwork.com, and the Roku app. Take Inside Edge Network wherever. With the Inside Edge Network app on Roku. Autumn, are we cool? Can I get a thumbs up if we're good? Oh, we are good, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do a switcheroo because I can't be on the other side of the screen. We're already this deep in. All right.
Okay. I'm sorry. It was right there. I felt it. Have you ever had a booger that you like? You know it's there. You know it's there, and you're like you can feel it. And I felt it the entire show. I'm like, I know it's there. It's there somewhere, and it came out.
That's frustrating. That's like. Okay, so like not that necessarily. I mean, yes, but like the earwax thing drives me crazy. Like I get bad sinus, so like it'll build up quick, and I'll be like, "What in the is on my in my ear right now?" And then crazy.
And then you go in and there's nothing there, and you're like, "But I know it's there," and that's what happened to me. It was like I know it's there, I can feel it, and it just worked out, and then it just finally decided to come out at that moment. Look, we were going to talk about Kyrie Irving, right?
Yeah.
And I decided we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because it brings the last time I talked about him, I literally walked off of air. I'm not doing that. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Don't go. I just want to have a conversation, but you know what? That's okay. We're friends. Let's pivot.
You know, we're going to talk more about LeBron and Philly, but you know what? I want to end this on a high positive note. Okay. And the high positive note that I want to end it on is the WNBA All-Star Game. This All-Star Game, first of all, the way I've been talking about how I hate All-Star games, right?
Yeah.
If every All-Star game was like the WNBA All-Star Game, I wouldn't hate it. Okay. This All-Star Game is beautiful. So number one, all the players come. It's not just if you're an All-Star. All the players are there.
Okay.
Whether you're an All-Star, whether you're not an All-Star, whether you're a past player, everybody's there. So the All-Star Game this year is in Chicago. Chicago Sky, I don't know if you know this, WNBA's most dysfunctional franchise right now.
Oh yeah, I think they cut Haley Van Lith or whatever, and then they signed her, and then they cut her again earlier this year, and the Angel restart. Yeah.
There's so much stuff is happening. So much stuff is happening with the Chicago Sky.
Okay.
Hold on. Hi, Mom. I'm on air.
Hey, Autumn's mom.
My mom says hi.
Heck yeah! All right, cool. Hey, Autumn's mom. Hey, how are you? We were talking about some groundbreaking stuff here. I don't know if you heard. LeBron went to Philly.
She called me and told me.
Yeah,
she knew it was happening.
That's tough.
Okay,
no expensive tickets.
Yeah, that's. And you know what? Hey, she has a point.
Okay, so
be careful. I heard that real quick. I heard that. Be careful though. Make sure Bear gets back in his cage.
No, he's look. I didn't have to chase him today. I was so happy. Good. It was so good. I didn't have to chase him today.
That's awesome.
But It's hosted in Chicago. So today, former President Obama visited all the All-Stars, and ironically enough, his presidential center opened. So a lot of the players have been going there. But it started off last night. So they usually have an All-Star Game fashion show, and again, it doesn't matter if you're an all-star or not. You can participate in the weekend. So they're like Nafisa Collier. She's not an all-star, but she just came back literally like right before the all-star break from injury. Like there are players who literally are not all-stars that are just there because it's WNBA All-Star Game. They had their skills contest tonight, which they did it by city, and they had like a current player. No, they had two current players and a past player. And Elena Deladon, who played for the Washington Mystics, she felt like I felt like she could suit up. I felt like she could suit up. That's how good it is. AZ Fudd, who is the Dallas Wings' first overall pick, She won the 3-point contest.
Hmm.
A rookie won the 3-point contest. Like, that's where we're at. Like, we got like rookies involved. We got past players involved. Like, the events are fun. 2 players call themselves the Stud Buds. They both played on Minnesota. Courtney Williams plays on Minnesota now, and Natasha Henderson, she actually plays in Seattle now. They're doing a full 72-hour stream.
Okay.
Just 72-hour stream. And when I tell you, you would think that no camera was there. That's how players are acting. Like that, no camera is like when I say this is how an all-star game is supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to highlight your sport. Everybody's involved. It's not about like, oh, we got to go to this party and that. They got events going on. They got parties going on. They've invited like female sports commentators. Hell, you got NBA players showing up.
Right.
KD was randomly on the stream last night, just randomly in the background. Russell Westbrook was at the skills contest. Dwayne Wade has been like, it's when I say it's truly what an all-star game is supposed to be. If every all-star game was like the WNBA all-star game, I would watch.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem interesting, like the format and everything. And I did look into it a little bit here. That's interesting. I think the big thing, Autumn, and this is just coming from, my opinion. This isn't reflective of anybody else on the Inside Edge Network. But I think the big problem with the WNBA, we've talked about it across different shows, about, the lack of marketing for the right reasons. A lot of times we're talking about off the court with the WNBA when it comes to the season, whether it's Paige Beckers and Azzi Fudd and their relationship. Crazy that we were talking about Azzi Fudd, who was a star at UConn, being would only be the number 1 pick because she dates Paige Beckers. Go look at the tape.
That's crazy.
It was, but my point, I guess, Autumn, is like we're taught like national outlets, and we're here on Inside Edge Network talking about that. And, we talked about our main event because it was a story around that time. We're talking about the Caitlin Clark debacle and if she's getting choked out on the court or if she's yelling at a referee or if like what exactly is going on there. We're talking about, is Angel Reese want to play basketball or does she want to model? Like, what is more of her passion at this point? Like, there's just different stuff, and I have all the respect in the world for the ladies because my mama taught me right. Mama Moon would whoop my behind if I didn't have the respect for the ladies, and it was instilled in me by good parents. I have that respect. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't. So they speak with no class, for lack of better words. But what I'm asking, I guess, is somebody who would want to get more into the WNBA. Of course, the All-Star Game's a great start, but who, in your opinion, somebody who watches the WNBA, because I watch it, but I'm not going to sit here and say I watch every single game. I follow it. Who's the face of the WNBA? My mind, just as somebody who doesn't watch as much as you, says it's Asia Wilson, and then behind that's Paige Beckers, as much as it should be Caitlin Clark, because she's polarizing enough to lift that league into TV ratings. We talk about it with LeBron. We're going to stay away from LeBron for this segment, but just for this sake, for a quick second, he's polarizing enough, plus he's damn good, to create an audience. So I'm going to just open it to you, like, who is the face of the WNBA? If they're tuning in right now, who should they be looking out for?
I would name at least 5 players before I would name Caitlin Clark as the face of the WNBA.
Okay.
I would watch Asia Wilson, Las Vegas Aces. You can watch Paige and AZ in Dallas. Dallas is a great team. They have completely brought themselves back. I would say Angel Reese and the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream are number 1 in the East. I would even say watch the New York Liberty, because the New York Liberty is just a polarizing team. You got Sabrina Ionescu, Breanna Stewart. Like, I will say this about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark reminds me a lot of I'm trying to find a player in the NBA. She's not on LeBron level, because as much as we talk about LeBron's talent like really, really adds up with his antics, right? That's why we tolerate it, right?
Right.
I would say Caitlin Clark is more like, you know what, I got it. It's more like post Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. Like, he was talented, but he was doing so much to where he ran himself into the ground. And then he was just not the same player that he was, right?
Okay.
Right? Like, and I'm not talking about MVP Russell Westbrook. I'm talking about post MVP, pre getting traded to Houston, right? Russell Westbrook, where you were like, where he was being called West Brick. That's kind of how I see Caitlin Clark, as in like she has all the talent in the world, but she refuses to listen to people who are telling her, "Hey, like you need to train a little bit differently. You need to get a little bit better. You need to add something different." Like Russell Westbrook, remember, he was so talented, he literally ran himself into the ground, and everybody was like, "Hey, you need to alter your game a little bit, brother," and he just wouldn't do that. She kind of does the same thing of like everybody telling her like, "Hey, you need to just alter your game a little bit more, and you could take that next step." But
Yeah. I mean, but she wasn't. But in fairness, the Indiana Fever weren't. Nobody thought about the Indiana Fever before her, and they've had some of their better seasons since.
No, because Aaliyah Boston went there, and Aaliyah Boston was the number one pick, and Aaliyah Boston beat Caitlin Clark.
Sure, she beat her in college, but Aaliyah Boston needed a star.
Aaliyah Boston was the get to get Caitlin Clark, because that was the whole thing of like you're gonna put Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark together.
Right.
But Caitlin Clark has now got to the point where it's like, if I'm an NBA superstar, I'm not going to the Indiana Fever. That's just not.
I guess like, well, and we're quick, short on time. I'm gonna hand it back to you here to get into your spirals. But I guess I would say like maybe Caitlin Clark's feeling the same way. Why nobody could be successful in the Indiana Fever, so why shouldn't I move and get a change of scenery too? Because you look at the stats, you look at everything else. I mean, it adds up.
No, and this thing is that the Indiana Fever will be a really, really talented team if she just listened to people saying, "Hey, like just alter your game a little bit." That's it. They have a great team outside of her and Sophie Cunningham. Great team, but if Sophie Cunningham continues to act the way she acts, they're not going to be a great team. If Caitlin Clark does not, she is a defensive liability, and she cannot create her own shot. That is his problem.
I don't know. See, yeah, we don't have enough time.
Just
we'll
because
revisit.
Three-pointer does not mean that's creating your own shot. Creating your own shot could be a three-pointer. Three-pointer, it could be getting in the hole. It could be going at the defense. She cannot do that, Eli.
I disagree. Well, then how does she have 21 points per game? She's got to be finding some sort of shot. And there's not a lot of
fouls. She gets a lot of foul calls. She gets a ton of foul calls. That's why she gets so angry. She gets a ton of foul calls. And when she doesn't get her ton of foul calls and her shot's not falling, she can't do anything. She can't go to the hole and get a bucket. I
just want to put this in context, though. She's averaging her most free throw attempts per game this year out of her 3 seasons. It's 6 free throws, Autumn. So she still has to find that's the equivalent of if she hits all 6 free throws, that is 3 buckets, or 2 if you're counting threes. So she's got to find I disagree a little bit there.
Well, okay, you also have to think though. This is probably her first full season playing. Because her first year, she played in and out. Last year, she got hurt halfway through, didn't play the second half.
13 games, yeah.
So this year is the first season that she's had to play. And if you I'm gonna say, just watch enough Caitlin Clark games to notice that she is not at the level that she should be at. She should be at a Paige Beckers level. I will say this: Paige Beckers, perfect. Asia Wilson, perfect.
Asia Wilson is Asia Wilson is the face of the league.
She is the face of the league. She is the person. If you want to say she is funny, she's charismatic, she has good shoe game, she has good style, she's dating an NBA superstar. She is the league. Now I know we're up against time here.
Yeah, come on. I've been waiting all day for the spirals.
My bad spiral. A good spiral.
Yes.
The thing that you should go into, spiral out a little bit. The Stud Buds 72-hour stream. I've been laughing at it all day long. They got so drunk last night that they woke up this morning and had to get IVs. It was so funny. Also, one of them was on the bus, and she was like, "Excuse me, Mr. Bus Driver, sir, can you please turn it up a little bit?" They wanted the music up loud. So I would say watch, even if you can't watch the stream, watch the clips. The clips are hilarious.
Okay.
My bad spiral, don't go down this road. Love Island just announced that they have opened up their casting for season 9. Don't go down that road, y'all.
Was that a personal one? Or you saying that?
100%. Don't do that.
Got it. Okay.
Don't do that.
Understood.
One of the questions that was revealed was, do you listen or have you been on podcasts?
I think we might have it in. We might have it in. I might be. I just got excited. I don't know how much more you can get excited if you're me. I got my all-day festival all weekend. I don't know how much more you excited. Autumn, thank you.
You know what?
Thank you.
You know what, Eli? You know what we should do?
What should we do?
Next week.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
Okay.
We should both on air fill out the Love Island USA season 9 application.
You know what? I'm with that.
For both.
I'm with that. Yeah, let's do that. I'm with that.
Here. Let's both go online and fill out that application.
They don't have paper ones?
No, it's
Okay.
an online application.
Copy. Okay. All right. Well, hey, Autumn, I'm with that. And here's the thing. Usually we bring Double A on. I got to let you know on a secret. I talked to him earlier today. He's really grumpy because LeBron James is a Philadelphia 76er. He's really...
Texted us and he was like, y'all want to be on air. He's
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
not happy at all.
I'm not happy.
You're like, somebody better jump on air right now.
I was actually going to cue it up to where we just let you come in after the intro, but...
No, I'm not happy.
Okay, you're not...
And that little application you guys go fill out, that's going to take like 3 episodes.
No.
To
Not
fill
if,
out.
not if we like Autumn. Okay, we got to really be. It's 85 questions. We got to be very strategic. That's literally more than 20 questions per. Math wise, we got to get about 30 questions per segment.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that crazy.
It's a disaster ready to happen.
Well, you know what else was a disaster? This entire offseason.
Talking the questions out, which I don't think we probably should. Certain questions don't need to be talked out, like our name, Instagram handle, stuff like that.
Well,
I feel like I already know my Love Island intro. Look. I know there's been some disasters, the Cavs off season and the LeBrons. I get it, W. But listen to this. I fill out the application. I get to the show. They're like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "I'm the man they call Moon, but you can call me Eli." Boom! Oh, I'm in there. Don't need a Facebook dating app anymore. I am in there like swimwear. Okay. Yep.
I will say this, listening to the last hour.
Yeah.
The Cavaliers might be in the Cleveland Guardians territory in terms of, because I remember hearing from older fans.
Mm-hmm.
They put up a lot with the Cleveland Indians / Guardians. Like, it's just good enough to make the playoffs. It's just good enough to make the playoffs. We might be in that territory with the Cavaliers. But LeBron James, the general manager, horrible.
Thank you.
Horrible.
Terrible. I'm
horrible. You really think Kyrie, like, if we're dead serious on Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, like, those were must-haves. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, the Kyrie stuff's going to be I think we're going to have to bookmark that for next week for somebody's show, because I understand he has his reasonings, like off the court. The legacy of Kyrie Irving is so muddied at this point. But if we just were to revisit back in 2017, again, I understand what you're saying, Double A, as far as 2026, the knees that we talked about the other day. I get it. Like the injuries, I understand that. It was all a game. It was all a game for LeBron, man. It was all for Rich Paul to get his podcast numbers up.
Again, Kyrie.
We have the blackboard right behind me.
Are you serious? Autumn, do you see this? Come on.
We're gonna break this down. This nonsense down coming up this hour.
Did you pull out a different monitor?
This here it is.
Or is that a white? Oh wow, you have the whiteboard. You have the whiteboard. Wow. I love it.
I'm gonna say one thing before I leave.
Yes.
Why didn't you just download the picture and then put it up as you were talking?
Because everybody else does that. I want to do something different.
That's right. I love that.
Also, do your promos next week.
Yeah. Oh, I love the originality. And
you will get that promo tomorrow when I don't look like a hot mess. But I will see you guys on Monday. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I'll see you on Monday. Double A, have a great show. Peace out, people.